So, welcome to this program, which Casey has named it Layman's Guide to Relaxation, Resilience, and Mindfulness. So this is the first lesson. So I'll just give an introductory talk. We'll have a few questions. And any question that you have it, so you can take my email, I'll give you my card, and then you can send me those questions and I'll take up in the next session. So from where we have to start? Curiosity, what you are curious of. Where is the curiosity? Is the curiosity outside or inside? That makes the difference. You want more peace. Why you want more peace? You don't want 3 arms. You already have it. You have to realize the peace is already within. The more we awaken to the peace, it becomes mindfulness. So from where these teachings comes from, and that is why I say it is an introductory session. The Eastern wisdom, normally I say it's more than 6,000 years old, much more than that. Some people say it is 20,000 years old. And we have the oldest text known as Rig Veda. And see, this is for your information. You can also teach. So Rig Veda has the words yoga, mindfulness, meditation, which is almost 4,500 years old text. It is considered one of the oldest written text in the world. So that has references of yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and the result of meditation. What is the result of meditation? No result. Mark. So when I say there is no result, your curiosity comes to an end. Why there is no result? There is no result outside. We have to discover peace within. We have not to increase the quantity and the amount of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. They are already within me. Stephanie, keep a smile on your face. Don't be so serious. So, this Eastern wisdom, which I say, so 6,000 years old, we have 3,000 texts and 3,000 teachers. In Casey, we have been discussing who was the first teacher. There was a first teacher. There are 7 first teachers, we can say, who discovered that, who awakened to inner peace and happiness, and in fact, then they started guiding. So one of the master is Vasishtha. So Vasishtha wrote a text. It contains 100,000 verses. And every verse talks about the mind, the structure of the mind, the nature of the mind, the ways to practice meditation and awaken to inner peace and happiness. So this is what I say, the Eastern wisdom. Second thing, that every master followed the same principle. Now, whether it is a Steve Jobs or whether it's a Google, they follow the same principles. One person calls it Android, another says iPhone. But basic technology is the same. Basic principles are the same. Similarly, every master follows the same principles. There are laws, there are principles, there is an understanding of the mind, the structure of the mind, the nature of the mind, and the ways to practice and evolve. You use the word growth. I'll talk a little bit about growth. That will also be a part of our introductory program. So they followed the same principle, but they express the same principle differently. Like the Google has an Android. Steve Jobs has an iPhone. Expression is different, but more or less they are used for the same thing, isn't it? Yeah. So, and also the practices were different. Why the practices were given different? Because they are customized practices. There is only one meditation, there is only one mindfulness, there is no two. But because they were expressed and customized according to the temperament and the state of a person who met the master. So this is the second thing. Another part of the introduction. Who is the author of the science? Mark, who is the author of the science? Not a single person, not a single scientist. There are thousands of scientists belonging to the different streams. Same way, who is the author of the Eastern wisdom? Not a single guy. When I say 3,000 teachers, out of there, one master says, no, let us see how the mind works with the breath, and the breath and the mind works with the geometrical designs, the energy pathways that is present in the body. It became Kundalini meditation. See that? Then there was another path. Master says, no, let us be action oriented. So it becomes a different meditation practices, including mantra and the yantra and different practices. Then another approach of the meditation was knowledge oriented. We have to understand the principle, we have to contemplate and reflect again and again until the mind says it is enough, the thoughts are enough. For 3 days I was just talking to Casey. So I willed that, let me pick up even if there is a small desire in the mind. What is that small desire? Let me drive. It is also a desire. So I said, I will pick up the object and throw that object out of my system, out of my brain and head. I experienced in total solitude. I was alone even with my family. That is knowledge-oriented meditation. So the when Buddha promoted knowledge-oriented meditation, passive meditation, and that is what it is known as the mindfulness journey. So sometimes people say, no, it's we have to do nothing, Some people complain, no, you add some breathing practices. You add some mantra practices, so I can figure out that where your mind is going. Your mind is becoming other-oriented. That's why you need an action. In that action, the mind tends to forget its own thinking process, and for some time we feel as if the mind has become empty. No, it has not become empty. It is still, it is looking for something. That's why, many people I have seen that they say, if I do jogging for an hour, then my mind calms down. No, the mind is not calming down. For some time, that brain has a hyperactivity of oxygenated blood, so you feel the sense of freshness at the physical level. But if you have a habit of moving into anxiety, it will remain there. Can jogging remove anxiety? No. Can physical activity remove anxiety? No. You can get out of that system for a while. As Stephanie was saying, can I go out in the middle? So this is what, the action-oriented meditation helps you. It helps you, but it cannot help you to the topic what Mark was saying, growth, change. Any change is a growth, isn't it? So what exactly is mindfulness and meditation when we explain in terms of a change or a growth? Plants grow There is a personality development. So development is also a change or a growth. So these two are different types of a change in our life. These two do not work in the field of meditation. What works in the field of meditation? We have to change this entire mindset. The way the mind is functioning in the world at present, we have to change that mind. So there are very subtler layers of ignorance, there are gross layers of ignorance, and we have a typical attitude or behavior or reaction that also comes from the mind. So mind is growing out of it, mind is developing because of these inputs and accumulated experiences. But in meditation, we need a mind that should evolve. We should focus our mind to evolve. What is evolution? Evolution is also a change. Growth is also a change. Development is also a change. What is the difference between it? Pay attention to it. This is very important. So once you go back home and contemplate on it, contemplate, reflect on it. Is my mind evolving, or is it changing? Or it is developing? So the growth and development always takes with reference to the things outside. What is that outside? I'm a teacher at present for 90 minutes and you all are students, So mind, even your mind is little aware, then you take a different stand and I take a different stand. So our behavior and attitude should reflect that we have come here to learn from each other. Another way of explaining this growth and development. Take an example of a teacher who has been teaching for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and after that he is retired. He teaches the same subject. He teaches in the same manner. We can say growth. At last he gets a pension. Because he's Another teacher also teaches the same subject, and after 10 years he finds hope. Let me open a school where I can be more creative. Now it's a vertical change. So when there is a vertical change, this is what is known as development. It's different from the growth. Another 20 years passes. This teacher says, is there any other way where I can focus on my students to help them bring about a change in the mind inside? That becomes a process of evolution. So what is the process of evolution in mindfulness? We get upset with the small things, very small things in our life. And I was there with my family, so one person in the family said, "No, I don't like to eat this." I was very happy. I said, "Okay, don't eat. You're not eating for me, so I have no problem." But, so even for the sake of the food we get upset. We don't realize the food is meant for to survive. We have to choose, eat to live or live to eat. Choose the best. And when you choose the best, your mind calms down. Someone says you crazy and then you say, "How dare you say me?" Another aspect. So the mind should withdraw itself from outside. It should not allow one's mind to give a meaning to the craziness. If your mind does not give a meaning to the crazy, you are not affected. Look at it. Did we understand that? So we need a qualitative change in the mind. So when you have that qualitative change in the mind, wherever you are, in whatever conditions you are happy. Why? Because of this evolution, the mind undergoes a transformation and it remains unaffected, the intellect becomes steady wisdom. That's where I was coming. Casey, we did talk about it. Steady wisdom. So what happens? The body undergoes a change. Body will have a pain, no doubt. No doubt. I know one of my high school friend told me, what color did you do on your beard? It looks so white. Is it not funny? Yes, so funny, you should not be offended. So I wrote back, I said, you find out which color I should have used. No, I should have made other remarks. No, refrain from other remarks. No reaction. Withdraw yourself. So when your mind lives into that state, it becomes transparent. It becomes like a perfect mirror. So then what happens when it becomes like a perfect mirror? That perfect mirror reveals your true nature. What is your true nature? It has 5 attributes. It is pure consciousness, it is truth, consciousness, it is love, it is knowledge, wisdom, and it is bliss. Then you experience a continuous flow of that happiness and peace from inside. From inside. So when there is a flow of that continued state of the happiness inside, from inside you, and it comes out, can you get upset on anything outside? Can you get upset with your honey? No way. No way. Why you get upset? Because I expect peace and happiness and love from others. Right? I expect, I desire, whatever you say. I expect, I desire, I crave. You can use these different words. So the Master says that what it says in one of the Upanishad, it says, Mano hi dividham proktam shuddham cha shuddham eva cha ashuddham kama sankalpam shuddham kama vivarjita. It is from the Upanishad. So the Master teaches his students, he gives the first principle. Look at your mind, observe your mind, understand your thought pattern, the sensation, the feeling, the image that you create about your near and dear ones. We always create a very strong image about our spouses, about our kids, about our friends. The moment you meet, the image talks to that person. You don't talk. Why that image talks? Did you get it, Stephanie? Don't bow down. The moment that image talks, you have created a problem. You created a problem. Why you have created a problem? For example, Stephanie, you are totally free here, and I have created an image about you that you are not listening to me. So what will happen? That image creates a reaction in me. You are totally free, you are ready to listen. But my mind has created that image that you are not ready to listen. Look at the subtler movements. Meditation changes these subtler movements. So the Master says, Mano hi dividham proktam. This mind are of 2 types. First, impure. Second, pure mind. Where is impure mind? Again, I'm expressing differently, Nancy. Yeah. There are many ways to understand the impure mind, and then I will lead you to that principle, and then we'll do the practice, we'll come out and we'll share our experiences. Today we'll be doing the knowledge-oriented meditation. That is mindfulness. Right? I'm using different words. One has to understand principle, Nancy. One has to contemplate, reflect. It should go into every cell of the body. And then it becomes easy. So coming back, in a simple language, that a mind is of two types, impure and pure. Habitual mind is impure. Conditioned mind is impure. So normally when people come closer to me and they say, "Hi, how are you?" and they instantly say, "I'm very fine," but I look at their face, they are not fine. Habitual mind. Habitual mind. Just for the sake of saying, we say it.
That's true.
That's true?
Oh, yeah.
So that creates a problem in me. Now I have divided myself. I'm not very happy inside, but when you ask me, I'm happy. Okay, Mark, how are you? Habitual mind, reaction mind. One way to put it. We go home. Hey, how are you, honey? I'm okay. Do you need anything? No, I'm just giving one example. One example. My mind is already heavily conditioned. It is bound to react even if I ask you out of love, how are you? At home, you have to respond. You have to react. You are not responding to it. Right? Another. You wake up in the morning and your mind is full of expectations from your honey, from your kids, and from your friends, and from everyone. I'm giving a lot of examples. Understand that. You wake up in the morning, that you are totally fresh. It is time to observe your mind that is calm. We don't observe it. We are impatient. What is this? Whose text is this? Let me send it. Come on. This is not fair. This is good. This is good for saying. Another point of impatience, Now just to give you simple examples. Sometimes it is always good to talk rather than constantly texting. I was looking at the lake beach, and people were, they were busy. They're doing the same thing. Come on, why should I do the same thing? Good at it. Result of anxiety. You are impatient, and there also you find the time of texting. You are not enjoying your life. I can cite you hundreds of examples like this. Hundreds of examples. So this is one way to understand this mind is impure. We have to do something. We have to do something. We have to observe our own mind, what is coming out, to calm down it. But now coming to the main thing of impure mind. Now I have to look at the time. So I'm not texting now. Now see that this couple of these things you can take home and contemplate and reflect, and once you come up again, you can send your questions or you can ask me those questions. Because how, I'm not a teacher. That's why I ask you. We are friends and we are treating the path together. We are understanding together what is mind, what is the nature of the mind, what are the states of the mind, and how to help this mind to evolve, to awaken to inner peace and happiness. So this master says in the second line that the mind that is driven by the desire and the projection causes the impurity, makes the mind habitual, reactive, and that mind creates a superficial nature. false nature, and we start working out of that false nature. Then what happens? When you work out of that false nature, at one time you're happy getting married, second time you're happy getting divorced. Then you start getting married again. You eat one thing, you feel happy. You reject it altogether, and after a few weeks you start eating the same thing again. Now I can cite you hundreds of examples like this. In daily life, this comes out of the principles of the Eastern wisdom. So, first thing is the desire. What is desire? Desire has two elements. When this mind is seeking something other than you, other than me, first. And why it is seeking? Think of it. Why it is seeking? Because mind feels a sense of incompleteness. That Mark will give happiness to me. So this means that I feel a sense of incompleteness. And that is why I desire Mark. One example. Don't take it otherwise. In our country we we have a different expressions for everything. So I'm a little bit cautious. Casey made me cautious to clarify it. You see that? Sense of incompleteness and seeking something other than you. It constantly triggers the mind. You are not aware. It constantly agitates the mind. The mind is already into the state of hesitation, seeking something other because of sense of incompleteness. And the second factor comes, it projects a happiness in something outside. So I project, for example, Stephanie, so I project happiness in you because mind is feeling a sense of incompleteness, and the same mind is seeking something other than me. Stephanie is other than me. So I'm seeking something other than me. There is a sense of incompleteness, and I project happiness in you. So what happens? The mind is constantly into that state of hesitation. This hesitation keeps me busy. Sometime it keeps me busy in the computer screen. Oh, okay, now it is done. You know what is known as multitasking. Multitasking distracts your attention. It creates a different habit. We don't create a focus on doing one thing at one time. So there are a lot of things. So this is the impure mind. So it means I should not have a desire. Yes, I was there outside with my family, and they asked me what do you want to eat? I said, let me see the menu. I gave an order. But yes, I was fully aware that it is only eat to live, not live just to eat. And the second time they asked me, I said, whatever you are ordering, order for meals. I'll eat. I wanted to check, can my mind remain in total silence even with the people outside? And I enjoyed that trip. That was my enjoyment. Their enjoyment was something else. Their enjoyment was something else. That is the art of meditation. You can help your mind to evolve to that state. So, and what is about pure mind? Pure mind is devoid of that desire, that sense of incompleteness that comes from outside. So hesitation drops. What is left, Stephanie? Only peace. You don't increase peace. What is left? Only love. What is left? Only infinite peace, love and happiness coming out of you. So check out. Are we beggar? We are expecting love from others? Or are we richest? We give love, peace and happiness to everyone. And that brings us Buddha to a state of, he awakened to the state of compassion. That is what the compassion is. So they are very selfish. These masters were selfish. They have an extra love for everyone. They are not sparing love just for the sake of changing the humanity. They discovered that love inside. That need to be understood. It is not that, I'm totally stressed inside and Mark, I love you, I care you. How can I care you when I cannot care myself? So that was the Buddha. So I would say, in one way to express that, all these masters were extremely selfish. They have an abundance of love. It cannot reduce. It cannot decrease. That state of the happiness is infinite. Abundance. They simply cannot stop it. It is outpouring, it is outflowing, it is flooding. That is the journey of mindfulness. That is the journey of meditation, and that is the journey of awakening. Knowledge-oriented meditation starts with awareness. Only 2 minutes and then we'll do the practice. Okay? Are you getting bored? Okay, thank you. Then I'm happy. So this knowledge-oriented meditation starts with awareness. Are you aware of me?
Yes.
Do you need to take any action to be aware of me? No. It is knowledge-oriented. Can you become aware of the body? The way it is sitting in a sitting position? Yes. This is knowledge-oriented. So you don't ask your mind to act, to do something. The moment you ask your mind to do something, then it falls into the second category. So we are going to do the practice today in the first category, the knowledge-oriented. So what is knowledge-oriented? That is how the Google also says mindfulness is an effortless process. Effortless and natural. So what happens when you shift your awareness from outside to inside? What happens? What happened just now? You parked your car outside, you went into reception, and then you came here. What happened? Just become aware. There was a sense perception of a parking lot, there was a sense perception at the reception, and now you entered into the room. Everything outside is out of sight. Right? We are totally focused on bringing the mind inside. Can that happen naturally by the movement of the mind from outside to inside? If that happens, we succeed in mindfulness and see you are okay. Okay. See that. So that needs to be clearly understood. So when you understand that you have not to take any action, your mind should be aware of it. Why? If you are not aware that you are not going to take any action, the moment you lose your awareness, the habitual mind returns and it starts taking its action. How it acts? It starts thinking of the honey at home or somebody at home. You might have reacted today since morning, so mind goes back there, or it goes into the past, or it starts projecting future. That habitual mind, if you are aware, you can get rid of the habitual mind. Then, so last one example I always give, and go back home, pick up these principles, what you have understood, contemplate on it. I can tell you, even if you contemplate for 10 minutes, you will see that mind has started changing. Mind simply drops unwanted guess that enters into the mind and that leads you to react. It is so simple. It is so easy. Because our ego hurts. It is so easy. Give me something difficult. Give me something challenging. Huh? The studio is a part of a very challenging task. I was looking there inside. So understand this. Last example, think of it. There is a storm outside. Do we fight with the storm, and do we rush inside the home, close the door, and experience calmness inside? I've been telling again and again, because we forget of contemplation and then we miss the practice. This is the practice. This is the knowledge-oriented practice. There is a storm outside. Common sense prevails. We say common sense. Come on, rush inside. There's a storm outside. And we move inside, close the door. Calmness is there. We need not to create calmness. Do you see that? Same thing happens whenever we have insight, attention, or duality, and conflict. Do you have an art to withdraw the mind from that storm? In the mind, move the mind inside. Mind leaves everything and it discovers the peace inside. I know Nancy is asking, is it so easy? It is the easiest. Because when I say it is easy, I'm not giving a right explanation. Because easy also conveys the sense what is then difficult. It is simple. It is very simple. So let us do the practice while laying down today. So you have already heard me for so long. Lie down, close your eyes. That would be a better option in the beginning. So we'll start with the knowledge-oriented mindfulness. You see, every time I give a different expression to the journey we undertake, whatever comes to this head. Yeah? So, yes. Now, Stephanie, the temperature is okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you. Yes.
Temperature is outside, we have to go inside. It has nothing to do with our peace and happiness. So you need not to break up your meditation practice in the middle. No, I'm just kidding. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Wonderful. The best way, one's body is different, but normally the best way, what the Mark has done, keeping the hands facing up near the thighs and the fingers are bent naturally. That is the key, because we don't hold. Your hands are facing the ceiling, eyes are closed, and also check, your toes are hanging on the sides. When I say toes are hanging on the sides, means that you have left the body on its own. The habitual mind is not there, my friend. And I can tell you, if you are simply aware, the habitual mind will not be there in the body, and if it is not there in the body, it will be the easiest and the strongest way to experience the state of mindfulness. But anyhow, we'll go through a process. Be comfortable. How to be comfortable? Eyes are closed. And look at the neck joint. Mentally, your mind is looking the neck joint. You see that point? That is a key to it. In the next session, I'll explain why. But here, just pay attention. Look at the neck joint. Mind is looking. Mind is feeling the sensation. And mind is confirming that neck joint is comfortable and there is in a state of steadiness. If the mind says your neck joint is not comfortable, you can adjust and align, you can move it. I have no issue. Look at the shoulder joints, feel the sensation, being comfortable, sensation and steadiness. When you are comfortable, it is only the discomfort that creates reaction, and the reaction changes the body, moves the body. I think you understand what we are doing. Knowledge-oriented journey of meditation, which is popularly known as mindfulness in America. But mindfulness and meditation are synonyms. Look at the hip joint. When you look at the hip joint, you feel the sensation, being comfortable, and you experience steadiness. I say steadiness means what? You are not enforcing stillness in the body. It comes to you naturally because of your experience of being comfortable. I know that you can easily figure it out. The opposite of it, fidgeting. The body constantly moves when you're talking. It is because of the mind. Look at the knee joints, feel the sensation, being comfortable, and sensation and steadiness. My dear friends, even if your mind is wandering and you have not heard me, you start listening to me from now. It will help you. Look at the ankle joints. To whom I am addressing? Your mind that is aware. And that aware mind is looking at the ankle joints. What will happen? Even the thoughts are coming, they will not disturb you. The way the noise of the air conditioning is not disturbing you. You have taken it for granted. So, when any thought comes, take it for granted, let it come and go. That brings us to the second preparatory step, being carefree. Thoughts are coming, feeling is there, sensation is there. The habitual mind will ask you, no, I don't feel good. What is this? What is that? It may go back to the past, project into the future, and you enjoy watching it. How? That is the art of being carefree. Where is that being carefree? I gave you 2 examples. First, you are standing across a highway, you are watching the traffic moving on each side, different lanes. Are you affected? No. Why you are not affected? You are different from the traffic. You are away from the highway. The vehicles are not you. Clear? So, on a mental highway, the thoughts are there. Feeling is there. Content is there. How can you be affected by it? Any thought comes, let it come. Any thought goes away, let it go. Do not chase it. Well, if you are standing across a road on a highway, you see a luxury vehicle and you say, I must possess it. You see that? The vehicle is not chasing you. You are chasing a vehicle. Then you create impression and the thought pattern starts. What I'm saying, you need not to think consciously, but whatever the thought comes to your mind is unwanted. Yes, let it come and go. And if it comes and goes, you are carefree. And the third point of the preparatory step is being casual, being natural. Where is being casual and natural? Natural, we say nature. We observe, we understand, we experience. Sea beach, we experience the mountain, the rocks. We experience a lot of things which is coming from the nature. So we have also our inherent nature, whether it is conditioned, whether it is dictated by the impure mind or the pure mind. At this time, we are not doing anything. We are not reacting. We are not chasing. Every master inspires their students to prepare to become a qualified seeker. And once you are a seeker 100%, the journey becomes full of joy, peace every time. A seeker never leaves the practice. Anyhow, now the first step. We understood knowledge-oriented. Practice is here. And we also understood that we have to move the mind from outside to inside. So the first is the body. So let us start with the body. Look at the head and the neck. When you look at the head and the neck, you experience sensation. How do you experience sensation? You are aware of the sensation. It is okay, my friend. Don't leave it. You are more important than the one. Let it happen. Let it ring. Don't worry. This is another noise. We will enjoy that experience. For the sake of peace, anything can be sacrificed. And the phone is very simple thing in our life. So, look at the head and the neck. Who looks at the head and the neck? The mind becomes aware. What it becomes aware of? It becomes aware of the sensation. Why? I'm not asking you to do anything. Look at it. That is the key point. And I have seen, it took me a couple of years to reach to that understanding, because it is knowledge oriented. By repeat practice. Look at the right arm. Mind is looking at the right arm, and you experience the sensation. If anything is happening at the subconscious and the habitual mind, you may get a jerk in the body. It's okay. Otherwise, you may have a variety of experiences, including freezing of the body, tingling and the numbness. What should you do when the tingling and the numbness happens? Accept it. Do nothing. Please do nothing. When you do nothing, you help the mind to purify. The purified mind moves from inside to outside. Look at the right arm. The right arm, experience the sensation. Whether I say, look at the other expression, move the mind on the left arm, become aware, feel the sensation. Modern psychology, sensation and awareness are the same thing. And if you closely examine, You will understand that. That will go a long way. See that? Look at the chest and the belly. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. You feel the sensation. How? Because you are aware. And you are aware, that is why you feel the sensation. You see that? We are very clear, we are not going to do anything. It's a knowledge-oriented meditation journey. Look at the right leg. The mind moves on the right leg. Now I can just give you a simple example. If you are a seeker, when I say mind moves on the right leg, it remains on the right leg. Then it starts experiencing the sensation. The sensation may be tingling, maybe numbness, maybe freezing, or maybe a sense of bodilessness. Many things happens. So look at the right leg, experience the sensation, and even if the body moves, it is okay. Everything is okay. Why? Knowledge oriented. Right leg, sensation and awareness. Left leg. The moment I say left leg, something happens. You feel the sensation there. How come? Because you are aware. Meditation is a conscious journey. My friends, we are equal participants. There is no teacher, there is no student. Look at the entire body. When you look at the entire body, a sensation from the top of the head to the toes, and feel the sensation and become aware. Look at it. Now we'll move to the second step. If anyhow we can prevent the mind to move out without forcing the mind, that is what I talk to you. There is a storm outside, you rush inside. So we are moving inside. Even in the second step, look at the head and the neck. You have to explore two things. Experience the sensation that deepens, and also explore the stillness. Now there is a natural stillness. Why? The mind is not driven by the desire, by the habit, by the reaction at this moment. See that point. Why? Knowledge oriented. Why I am speaking to make you understand? It's a knowledge oriented practice. Right arm, experience sensation, explore stillness. You may experience the sensation deepens. You may experience numbness or tingling or freezing of the body, coolness or heat. Everything is okay. Temperature of the room more or less is the same. Look at the left arm. Knowledge oriented, again I am saying. Explore sensation and experience stillness. Chest and the belly. Chest and the belly. Explore. Did I say anything to do? No. Explore. Just become aware. Know it. That there is a sensation and there is a deepening of the sensation and there is an experience of stillness. Right leg, sensation, and stillness. Left leg, sensation and stillness. Look at the entire body, means mind moves on the body from the top to the toe or from the toes to the top. Both are equal. Don't start thinking, oh, should I do it from the toes to the top of the head? Your mind will naturally move from the top of the head or from the toes to the head. The moment it moves slowly, experience the sensation and experience the stillness. We should understand, because Buddha was there and more masters were there before that, they guided the meditation differently to their students because of their temperament, because of their mental state. And so I'm guiding like this to create those steps. Otherwise there is no step in knowledge-oriented mindfulness. But I made it easy. Now looking inside the head and the neck. What is the goal? Is to move the mind inside. As we moved inside when there was a storm. The mindfulness journey is undertaken even if there is no storm. Why? Because the mind is heavily conditioned. It is prepared to react. It is prepared to fight. It is prepared to enter into anxiety and anger. You see that? So storm is always there in our head and the mind. So that is why mindfulness is good for both. Those who have some mental challenges, those who do not have it, but still it can manifest. Look inside the head and the neck. Become aware. Sense organs cannot go inside. So mind is looking inside and it projects the space or a darkness or a sense of emptiness. That is the key. The moment I say look inside the head and the neck, become aware of the space, good. You feel the sensation inside the head and the neck? Much better. So you can separate the sensation on the skin and the sensation inside. You have already allowed the mind to live within. How simple. Why I am explaining? Knowledge oriented, not action oriented. I am making it so simple. Look at the right arm. Inside. The mind moves from the shoulder inside to the fingers. And the beauty is that as you move inside, you will experience the sensation deepens. And you experience the space and the sensation inside. In our next session, we'll understand what is this space and what is this sensation at all. Look inside the left arm. Be there. And experience space and the sensation inside. Look inside the chest and the belly. Can you be there? By default, when there is a storm, we move inside, we close the door, and what happens? Even if the noise of the storm is coming inside, we are totally free. I know, you know what I'm pointing to. Look inside the chest and the belly. Become aware of the space and the sensation. The very experience of the space and the sensation inside awakens the mind that mind is living within. But the mind says it cannot happen 24/7. My friends, you need not to think about this at this moment. You take medication and you do not start thinking of it. It is simply a journey. Change does not happen overnight. Progress happens when we do the practice continuously. And the success comes to those who have a tremendous patience. Look inside the right leg. Just be there. Experience the space and the sensation inside. And look inside the left leg. Be there and experience the space and the sensation. Look inside the entire body, either from the top of the head to the toes, or from the toes to the top of the head, experiencing space and the sensation. Space and the sensation. Awareness of the space and the sensation inside helps our mind to bypass that habitual and the reaction and conditioned mind. It gives us a new level of awareness that there is something more than the same old thoughts, conditioned mind and its movement. Knowledge-oriented meditation is mindfulness. When there is no doubt about it that you need not to do anything, you should not. Remain in that state of sensation in the stillness. You may have experience of vision in the colors, freezing of the body, numbness, tingling, heat and the cold. Accept it. Recognize, experience, accept it. Why? We are on a journey. The next step comes from inside. Look at the breath. Knowledge about the breath. You see that? Normally, I have attended many programs of different teachers. They say focus on the breath. No. Buddha and other masters never says knowledge-oriented meditation does not ask the mind to do anything except looking, except perception. The very perception is the literal meaning of the mindfulness. And right perception is the precise word. So look at the breath. What knowledge we get? The breath is going in and coming out. Let us be more aware. When we say the breath is going in, it means it is going inside the body. It is coming out of the body. Clear? So first point, the breath is going in and out of the body. And the body feels the sensation of the breath inside the nose when it goes in and when it comes out. By default, we are feeling the sensation of noise, of the AC. We are also listening my noise. So here we bypass the habitual and the reactionary mind. How? Third point. First 2 points. In the state of sensation and stillness in the body, the mind is living within. Then you have 2 points on the breath. First point, the breath is going inside and outside the body on its own. Second point, you feel the sensation of the breath going in and out. Third point, you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. How come? Because knowledge-oriented meditation. I'm just giving one answer today in our session. Knowledge-oriented meditation, you are more aware that I have to do nothing. 3-pointed awareness of the breath. First point. Breath is going inside and outside the body. Second point, you feel the sensation inside the nose naturally. Third point, you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath, and this can only happen when you are aware the mind is living within. When you experience the sensation and the stillness in the body, these are the qualification of the 3-pointed awareness of the breath. Only when you continue the journey, progress is made, and now you can help your mind to maintain awareness on the breath even in an active phase. But we have to learn, educate the mind, discipline the mind first. And we say, okay, let me do it instantly. Impatience. Impatience, you fail. Patience, regular practice, you succeed. How much time we normally talk? The moment you ask how much time, the mind is already impatient. How much time it took you to become 10 years old? You see, it has no validity. In mindfulness, we transcend the time. I'm just giving you those understanding why knowledge oriented. We are looking at the breath going in and out of the body, feeling the sensation of the breath. No change. Three-pointed awareness on the breath, in the state of mind living within and experiencing the sensation and the stillness in the body. Knowledge-oriented meditation, mindfulness. And for the sake of understanding, do nothing. So sometimes what happens when I say to move into the state of doing nothing, the habitual mind returns and it starts moving the body, it starts thinking as if thinking is doing nothing. If the thoughts are there, it's okay. But doing nothing, experience the layers of your consciousness. From outside is the space all around the body. Then the body, second layer of the sensation in the stillness. Then third layer is the space and the sensation. Another layer is the breath. And behind and deep down the breath, there is something more. We need to discover that something more is the journey of the mindfulness. So remain in that state of doing nothing. When you do nothing, that very existence pops up, if I say so. Why? The mind is inside, become a perfect mirror. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavi. Let everyone be happy, everyone be healthy, let everyone be blessed, let none suffer from misery in this world. Peace, peace and peace. We have to return slowly. We are not in a hurry. The moment your mind is in a hurry, think of it twice that you need to practice it more and more. The mind goes to the right hand, feel the sensation. Mind goes to the left hand, feel the sensation. Raise both your palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Now give it a word to all the experiences, good, bad, high, low, that is yours. So don't worry. Bring your hands down and sit up. Now it's all your turn to speak out. Good, bad, high, low. We only did for 37 minutes. Sit up. How are you, Stephanie? How are you, Mark? I could see your face. Yeah. Good. Good. Stephanie, how are you? Great. Great? Mm-hmm. Who is great? I'm great, you are great, practice is great, experience is great. What is great? Knowledge oriented, that's why I'm asking you. You get little more peace?
Yes.
That's what you were looking for. How are you, my friend Nancy?
Good.
Good? So you have to remain good from now onward.
I had some pain in my leg. It was weird in my knee. I hadn't moved. It was like.
Continue. Yes.
What,
Yes.
Where does that come from?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll understand that. Casey?
Good.
Good.
I'm more successful setting up than I am lying down.
Yes. Now you have started, more successful in.
Lying down is difficult for me. Still, it just seems lying down means you should be going to sleep. You shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I fell asleep
Yeah.
for a little bit.
But it's okay. It's okay. Even you fall asleep, everything is okay in the beginning. As we progress, then we can make a change. I give you a reference point for you to ponder. It takes a little more time. As we progress, then we'll understand that point. Think of it, one scenario that will give a right perspective. Last year, you had a fight with someone, then you went home, the mind created a thought pattern, you felt tremendous reaction inside, anxious inside. At that moment, we are not aware. It was building up. So it went into the unconscious mind, and there was a storehouse. Eastern wisdom says it is known as chitta. Chitta. One, Patanjali includes mind, intellect, ego, and the chitta all together as a chitta. Now see, those impressions are already there. So it is looking for some manifestation and expression. It may express as an extreme pain. It may express as an extreme anger. It may express as some form of illness in the body. We don't know. We don't know. So that is, in a very simple way, the answer to it. I met women in India, and she had red patches throughout her body, and nothing helped. She went through all the investigations, and she was aunt of one of my students. So I asked her, okay, let us see that. And when I started taking her history, so she got married at the age of 15, and she was 52 when she came to me. So she continued to suppress her emotions. Her normally husbands are crazy, so her husbands was also crazy. Normally, I include myself. So he was constantly dictating, and it took me almost 6 months to release that fear. As fear was released, everything was okay. No red patches. So one great master says, Aurobindo was a great master.